Today we're going to look at the question of whether Leica will ever make us a brand new digital camera with a CCD sensor. I think in reality the chance of this happening is absolutely zero or near zero because everything now is CMOS. And I think it's for that reason that Leica users that have used the Leica M9 hang on to it so dearly, because there is just nothing like it on the market in terms of getting those amazing CCD colours and that CCD, I'd say more filmic rendering, regardless of if you shoot black and white or colour. Today is homage to the Leica M9. I don't have my original Leica M9 with me, but I've got a modern M camera to use as kind of a size comparison. And I'm going to cover 10 criteria of whether I've now found an alternative to the Leica M9. Stay with me and we're going to do Leica M9 versus Hasselblad H3D-39. Let's see how these two cameras compare. Hey guys, Matt here from MrLeica.com. So yes, today we're talking about Leica versus Hasselblad. It's not going to be an exact side-by-side shootout, but I will share sample photos from both my old M9 and my now current H3D-39. I've already done a blog post and I'll link it below, and as we go through the video, click the link below and you'll be able to view some of the photos I'm going to show you full res. And I think it's not until you see the photos full res that you really get to appreciate the beauty of a big CCD sensor. If you follow me on social media, you may have seen me having a lot of fun with the Hasselblad in recent days and a week or so. So first we'll do 10 criteria comparing the two camera systems, and then stay with me and I'll share example photos from both systems and some behind the scenes clips from my recent photo shoots with the Hasselblad. Let's get into the list. Before we get into the differences between these two cameras, let's first look at these similarities. Both cameras are CCD. Both cameras in 2024 are roughly the same price. There's definitely listings where the Hasselblads are cheaper than the Leicas. Both of them are interchangeable lenses, and both of them just have this secret sauce magic that you just can't quite put your fingers on, but they put a massive smile on your face. Before we get into the top 10, so you can fully appreciate both cameras, the Leica M9 was first released in 2009. The Hasselblad H3D-39 was first released in 2007. So both similar age, both pretty old for digital cameras. Okay, the top 10. So number 1, sensor size. M9, 18 megapixels, Hasselblad, 39 megapixels. I've also been happy with less megapixels, but when I'm working on files with more megapixels, it's definitely easier when it comes to editing. So there are some benefits from more megapixels, although my MacBook is now much slower, so I am now looking at getting a slightly faster computer because of this camera, the win to the Hasselblad. Number 2, sensor size. So the Leica M9, as you probably know, is full frame, where the Hasselblad is medium format. Not only is it medium format, it's 49 by 36 sensor size, and that makes it really big, giving a really shallow depth of field for some of my portraits. This camera is amazing for portraits. Ticking the box to Hasselblad. Maximum high ISO, I guess usable high ISO. M9, I was happy with around a high ISO of 800. Hasselblad, I'm happy up to 200. So for that reason, Leica wins. To continue the quirks of these old cameras, next we'll do LCD size. On the M9 it was 2.5 inches, Hasselblad 2.2 inches. Leica M9 LCD wins, but both cameras have really rubbish, really low resolution LCDs. Number 5, if you're a Leica user, and let's say you use a M11 or M10P, you'll probably really appreciate those near silent cameras. These cameras are not silent. The M9 is pretty loud for an M camera, maybe one of the loudest. But the Hasselblad is even louder. Yeah, good. This is definitely not a camera to shoot church weddings. Even if you shoot in the street in public, people like turn their heads, it feels like a gun goes off. You get a bit of like recoil when you take a shot. It's kind of nice, but it's not a stealthy camera. Quietness test when it goes to Leica. Number 6, speed. These cameras are speed demons. The Leica M9 gives you 1 to 2 frames per second. The Hasselblad gives you a whopping 0.7 frames per second. Leica wins. Number 7, camera size. It doesn't sound important, but it is important as soon as you come to pack your bag to go anywhere, as I'm starting to realise. You know, I love my small Leica cameras and small Leica lenses. Hasselblads are not small, so size difference is quite a bit bigger. Oh, shout out to square hood. If you own a Leica M camera and you want a square hood made of metal instead of the plastic ones that came on some of the 35mm Summicron, 28mm Elmerit as seen here, I'll put a link below to square hood and you can get 10% off these amazing super high quality square hoods, as the name suggests. Really impressed with the quality, and yeah, so thanks to them for sending me one to test, and yeah, as a result I can give you a 10% discount, so link below, and I'll also put a link on the blog while I remember. Number 8, autofocus. Hasselblad gives you autofocus. M cameras, as you know, have no autofocus. Hasselblad wins. I actually found it quite useful for some of my model shoots because I can hold a light with one hand and then the camera with the other, and it's quite a good like run and gun approach for some of the model photography that I'm doing. Number 9, like M cameras are digital cameras, as we know. Hasselblad H cameras, H3D-39 in this example, has got a 39 megapixel digital back, but you can also put a 645 film back on it. So this system will shoot film and digital. Whereas, you know, on Leica cameras, I'll have to use my Leica M3 or Leica M6 if I wanted to shoot film, and then my M9 if it was an M9 to shoot digital. So not many cameras do both film and digital with the same system. So for that reason, Hasselblad wins. And finally, number 10, Leica cameras have no built-in flash. Hasselblad, laugh or not, has a tiny built-in flash, pop-up flash. Now this sounds and looks like a bit of a joke. It was originally designed to fire off-camera strobes, but I've actually found it quite useful for both a fill flash and a light on its own in kind of the rubbish UK weather that we've now got at this time of year. And so I've been shooting portraits with my fill flash. I never thought I'd say I'd be doing that. So the scores, checking my notes, Leica M9, 5, Hasselblad, 5. It is a tie. That makes sense because both cameras will put huge smiles on your face if you want something smaller and you don't mind the risk of buying a camera with a corroding sensor. Leica M9 is your camera, especially if you're already in the Leica ecosystem and have a range of lenses. If you want a new camera to play with, and if you shoot portraits in particular, and if you do strobist work, yeah, the Hasselblad's actually going to win this. The Hasselblad's going to win because number 11, something I forgot to add, this has a flash sync speed of 800th of a second. Leicas have a flash sync speed of around 180th of a second. I bring up some footage from some of my recent photo shoots, but the Hasselblad is just fantastic for portraits. It made me laugh, and that one reason for making this video is after buying the Hasselblad, it reminded me so much of my old M9 days, because when I bought my M9, I used to shoot weddings at the time, and so I had to buy like a Noctilux lens 50 f1 because there just wasn't enough light to go into the sensor to do my photos in these like dark church weddings. Exactly the same has happened since buying the Hasselblad, and so I've had to invest in the fastest Hasselblad lens you can get, which is the 100mm f2.2. There's just so many similarities between these two cameras. So how do the photos compare? Let me first bring up some sample photos with my Leica M9. If you're watching this on your computer, click the link below to the blog link and you'll be able to view some of these photos full res. I recommend kind of clicking on a few and just really zooming in at like 300% on Flickr, and you'll be able to see the difference between the M9 CCD sensor. And then these now are shot with the Hasselblad H3D 39 megapixel back with mostly the 100 f2.2 lens. Again, if you're clicking on the link below, click on the photos within that blog link and have a look full res. It's not till you see the big sensor photos on full screen that you really see the difference. It's amazing for female portraits because the eye's in focus, and say the skin here next to the eye or parallel to the eye is in focus, but then the skin just in front of the plane of focus is soft, and the skin just behind the plane of focus is soft. So it's really flattering for my portraits. I've been doing various photo shoots, and I'll probably have to do another blog post, or what I'll do is I'll put another video together for Patreon sharing some more behind the scenes from these various photo shoots. I've been using it with available light. On the one day we had some sunshine, I've been using pop-up flash, I've been using on-camera flash, I've been using handheld bare flash, I've been using softboxes, and then all the other kind of light modifiers, off-camera flash as well. So yes, I'll put a video together for any of you into model photography and just stick that on Patreon. Talking of model photography, my new ebook is almost finished and is due to be released in the coming days. If you are on Patreon or if you are a blog follower, you will get early access to this book, and I will do a early bird discount code. Again, link below to the ebook. It's going to be everything I've learnt in the last, I think, 1,500 plus photo shoots over maybe 10 plus years. It's taken me 3 years to write, and it's 50 chapters of pretty much everything I know about organising a photo shoot, how to work with models, how to find models, what gear you need before the shoot, after the shoot, during the shoot, everything you need, and it even includes tips from models themselves. So link below to that, and yeah, if you're a blog follower or on Patreon, you'll get early access and a cheaper price. If you love the idea of a Hasselblad camera but want something more modern, perhaps check out my video on the Hasselblad H3D next. Thanks for watching, and as always, a huge thanks to my amazing patrons.